Hey guys. So I thought I'd give some advice for talking to girls at clubs. Things that are more actionable than normal advice that I see. I'm hoping this will be more on the realistic side because a lot of the advice I see on at least YouTube in particular, it leans a lot more in seduction. And seduction is not really realistic in my opinion. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of throw some advice at you, and hopefully you can use this in real world scenarios. So number one, actually having some conversation starters. Now, don't recommend having like scripts or lines or anything like prepared in your mind or anything, but if you have social anxiety, these can be kind of pretty helpful in just getting something started. Um, but something you can do is like say when you're at the bar and you're getting a drink. My go-to drink was like a rum and coke or a gin and tonic. I looked up drinks for like hours before I went to clubs, so I didn't look stupid or anything. But something I would do is like say if there was like a girl next to me, I would just ask her what she was drinking. Now, keep in mind, this was difficult. This was not easy. Even though that might seem small, that was very daunting. Um, but a lot of times, these girls would end up being pretty receptive to conversation, or just at least they were polite. They weren't like harsh. They wouldn't reject you like in a really mean way or anything like that. Um, but I do want to say, talking to girls at clubs is doing things in hard mode. So just keep in mind, there's a high failure rate for things like this. But yeah, another conversation starter you can have is maybe something like if you're next to a girl, you can be like, oh, you can say excuse me too, so she kind of knows that you're talking to her. But you'd be like, hey, do you know if this DJ is the one who's closing? It kind of seems like a genuine question. And then because I feel like that seems a lot more like a real question, you can probably piggyback off that and be like, oh, like, have you gone here before? Do you know this DJ? Stuff like that. And then you can kind of try to create more conversation from that. But keep in mind, a lot of people are doing their own things at clubs and they might not be open to conversation. So try to read social signals when you can. And if this person is not receptive to conversation, I would just leave it. And then maybe you can go on to another girl, or talk to another girl, um, or just vibe out to the music. But some other things I've done at clubs to maybe start a conversation is literally just be like, if there's like a rooftop or something, um, and it's a little bit more open, the music's not so loud, it's not so crowded, you can maybe have a spot where you might be able to start a conversation with somebody who comes by and you could just be like, oh, how's your night been? Now, keep in mind, these are scary things to do. They might not hear you and you might feel ignored. Um, they might actually ignore you. So just keep that in mind. It's not unnormal for these things to happen, but it does not say anything about you that it does. Now, number two, one thing I like about clubs is that it helps you kind of break barriers quickly. Um, like what I mean by that is, say if you meet a girl like on a dating app or say out in public or like a bookstore or something, it takes a little bit of time to break like the touch barrier or like the space barrier. Now, clubs, because the music is so loud, you often end up having to lean in. Um, and that helps kind of create a little bit more intimacy than say if you were at a bookstore. Um, and then something else is because you're leaning in so close, sometimes you could break the touch barrier a lot easier because of it. Sometimes if they make a joke, you can reach out and kind of touch them. Uh, really easy, or not easy, but great plus for a club. I will say that again, clubs are doing things in hard mode. It does not have a high success rate. A lot of times you will not get a text back. You're probably one night stands don't really happen anymore at clubs. So that's probably not going to happen. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, I thought I'd just throw some conversation starters out there, and maybe you can use it in your day to day life.